Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. It's about that time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Running with your friends. Come on.
Come on.
It's a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on the mic.
Once again, it's on. You're still trouble in your home. Got you tripping, don't know right or wrong. Send your letters to the show so we can talk you through. Get the answers to your questions because we speak that truth. Sometimes you doubt yourself, lost your health. Faith is on the fence, but you believe that Jesus knows your well. Keep the moving spirit flowing. We're here to provide someone to lean on when you're falling. Wednesday, 8 and 9, and it's on.
Once again, it is on. You are listening to the special edition of the Sinclair Show, coming in live to you all. First of all, I want to thank any of you who are joining me tonight. I know most of y'all are out somewhere doing something right now. And I decided I wasn't going to come on too early because this is going to be a short message, but it's going to be a conversation from me to you all. Okay? So if you're out there and you want me to send you a shout out and you're looking in your own Facebook or wherever you at, just pop in. Kenneth Saunders, what's going on, big guy? Glad that you could join us. Happy New Year to you as well. Again, anybody out there that want to shout out, pop in, let me know who you are, where you at. We'll give you a shout out. But tonight ain't about the letters. It's about our conversation. We'll have a brief conversation, me to you. First of all, as we all know, in less than 45 minutes, it'll be a new year. And the question that comes to mind is it a new year with a new you? Is it a new year with the old you? And if it ponders in your mind, the thing that we must consider is, what have you been this year? What have you accomplished this year? And if you've accomplished the right thing, then keep them going. But if you have fallen short of your goals, if you have fallen short, if you have undercut yourself or others, then the thing that you can do is just how to burden myself this year coming up. And I'm not talking about New Year's resolutions. Y'all know exactly how I feel about New Year's resolutions. I don't get down with New Year's resolutions. I told y'all I was talking to Xavier, and he said to me that they got this thing called refocusing. And we need to ask ourselves, what's our purpose? And I love doing the show. I love the questions and the comments and our ability to fellowship together and have fun. But there is some serious things that we need to consider. And now is the time. Reason why now is the time versus yesterday or a week ago, because this seems to be at least one general time that everybody is comfortable setting or creating a goal or a standard in their mind. So let's begin with this. What did you do this year? What did you do that was good? What was your area of opportunity? What did you see about yourself? What did you learn about yourself? Now notice, I haven't asked you all anything about somebody else. This is not about who's the best person in your life, the worst person in your life. This is about you, your change, your growth, and what direction do you want to be heading into 2023. Now, most of us would like to say we get older and wiser. But the truth is, many of you are doing the same things this year that you did the last year and the previous year and the year before that. There is no mental, spiritual, or emotional growth. And you can't expect a change in your environment. You can't expect a change in the outcomes of your life if you're still doing the same things. And we all got cheerleaders. And let me say this. If you are the smartest person, and I heard this, so I don't take credit for something that is not my original thought. When during one of my graduations, I believe it might have been in the master's or the undergrad, one of the two, we had a gentleman named Les, and Les was the keynote speaker. And I often say I don't remember anything that he said during his keynote address except for the very end. And at the very end, he made a comment. He said, if you're the smartest person in your group or your crew, you need a new group or crew because you're not learning anything. You're not growing. You're not becoming a better version. You have nobody that you can absorb anything off of because the other people aren't trying to either catch up or exceed you. So where do you get your growth from? And many of you will have these people in your crew that'll make you think everything you do is okay. And that's why you're stagnant. You need somebody that can challenge you honestly and ask you. Somebody that knows when you telling the truth and when you lying. Somebody who can call you out on your foolishness. That'll say, hey, look, I'm not rocking with that, and you might need to change your paradigm. If you don't have that type of person, it's the reason why you're recycling your frustration, your anger, and your ignorance. All right? And so as we begin to consider that, what's the best thing about you? And if I start with it cannot be your physical characteristics. What's the best thing about you that won't fade? You can't tell me it's your waistline, it's gonna change. You can't tell me it's your beautiful skin, it's gonna change if you live long enough. What's the best thing about you as men? We spend our entire lives making choices. And these choices lead places. And those places that it leads you, you have to determine if that's where you want to go or not. Stop turning everybody into the villain when you make a choice and you walk down the path. Let me tell you, try this. I am responsible for at minimum 50% of the success and failures in my life. In some cases, I might be 75%. Because in every decision that I've made in my life, I had a choice. I had the choice to either go down that road or not to go down that road. Whatever you choose, take ownership of it. The next part of your feet to ask yourself, am I honest with me? You can't be honest with nobody else if you're not honest with yourself. You can't grow and change if you're still lying to yourself about who you are. You can't say I'm gonna do better in 2023 if I'm still lying to myself the same way I have for all these years. Be honest with yourself. Trust that yourself, you ain't gonna leave you. You ain't gonna turn on you, so tell yourself the truth about who and what you are. If I'm big, I gotta say I'm big. Ain't no need for me to walk around and tell y'all I'm small, because that ain't the truth. Then ask yourself, where am I going? How many years do you have left to be the version of you that you are? And often we hate to hear people talking about spirituality and their faith. It is impossible for most clear-minded human beings to see success personally if you're not striving for success spiritually. And there's a difference between spirituality and religion. We're not talking about religion. I don't personally care what your religion is. You need to be working on your spirituality, on your faith, your walk, your connection to God, because you need to be able to ask somebody that you think is smarter and greater than you to help you along your way. And the sad part about it is, many of us try to do it on our own. And when we fail, the first thing we do is we're going to blame old Satan. Man, look at what Satan did. Most of the time, Satan ain't even messing with you. Satan ain't got time to be playing with you in your indecisiveness. You too foolish for him. And I say that, and I'm sure that some of you all are probably laughing. Mute this. But the goal has to be, what and why would my year look different than it just did? And I got to be honest with you. Some of you are going to have to make some critical changes. Some of you are going to have to look in the mirror, and you're going to have to mean it this time. Some of you are going to look in that mirror and you're going to stop saying to yourself, I got one more chance. I got one more year. I got one more month. I got one more hour. By the end of this year, if this is not like this, then I'm going to do this. This is what you've been saying for the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years of your life. You've been betting that you got more time. And you walk around miserable because you keep giving yourself a pass until next time. Life can be fair. Life can be, you're going to have good days and bad days. How those days end up, the culmination of those days is determined by what was the road that you traveled to get there. So what if you failed something this year? So what if you got it wrong? Did you keep trying? Did you look at what path, what steps did I take? Why did I get it wrong? Asking yourself these questions will help you to not walk in the same minefield that you just came out of that caused you to take that L. Do you even want to be better? Do you know how to focus? And when I say focus, I want you to walk with me on this. When you focus, if you focus, that means you got to get out of other folks' business so that you can mind your business. Now, I know some of y'all going to disconnect. Some of y'all going to leave. It's okay. But for those of you who stay, you probably should hear this. You only got 24 hours in a day. If you're spending 2-3 hours in total, it might be 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, it might be an hour here, in somebody else's business. Some of you spend almost every waking hour gossiping and in other folks' business. You can tell everybody about everybody else's business, but you got to create a lie about your own. There is no way I can be successful in anything that I do if I'm focusing on somebody else. I'm all up in somebody else's house, minding their business, while the walls in mine falling down. I'm all up in somebody else's job, minding their business in somebody else's department, minding their business while I'm about to get fired from mine. These are the things you have to consider if you want to change the trajectory of your life. Can it be done? Absolutely, it can be done. How do I do it? First, you have to commit that I'm going to have a plan. And my plan is going to be tough. You see people all the time who are addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, addicted to a whole bunch of different things. And when they get ready to honestly change, they go through withdrawals. You're supposed to go through withdrawals from your ignorance if you've been doing it for years. Some of you are functioning alcoholics. Some of you are functioning liars. Some of you are functioning busybodies. Some of you are functioning through courses of ignorance. We all have seen them. We don't know how in the world this person who is an alcoholic can jump up and go to work and do their job, and as soon as they get off, they get towed up again. We know people right now who can shoot up some heroin, wake up in the morning and go to work. And we be betting against them. Oh, I know at some point they're going to kill somebody out there. It is no different being a functioning liar, a functioning quitter, a functioning person who is not striving for something. A perfect do nothing. If that's you, you can change it. But you got to check yourself into something. You got to check yourself into an emotional, sometimes a real physical facility. Sometimes you got to check yourself spiritually into a facility so that you can get help. You may not be able to cross this journey by yourself, which is the reason why it's important for you to surround yourself with honest people who are about their business. Oh, I know what y'all saying. What you trying to say? I'm trying to say you ought to surround yourself with people who are about their business. If you surround yourself with people who are just like you are currently, lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, do whatever, all y'all doing is supporting the same bad habits. But if you choose to surround yourself with people who are striving for something, who got goals, who are trying to increase their spiritual growth and knowledge, if you're surrounding yourself with these types of people, you're going to slowly but surely pick up those habits. Why? Because birds of a feather do flock together. You ain't ever going to see a vulture flying with a bunch of geese. The wingspan is different. Where they going is different. If you got folks that's hanging out with you and you doing your ignorance, Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchard, glad that you are joining us tonight. If you got people in your corner that's hanging around you with your ignorance, they're doing the same thing, because it ain't no way on God's green earth that somebody who is positive and about their business is going to continue to hang out with you if you out here on some foolishness. And I'm not judging. I'm telling you the keys to you change and preparing yourself greater. If you don't want nothing greater, if this is the best that you want, it's okay. But stop crying about how bad your life is. Stop blaming somebody else. there is a significant deficiency in your success goals and your ability to navigate those paths. You cannot be afraid of change. But if you're going to make change, make change. You can't keep 1 foot over here and 1 foot over there. If you're going to be, listen, some of you have been doing the same things for so long that it's just a pattern of behavior. Productive. Some of you, you act just like confidential informants. You hide in secrecy, doing what you do. You convince people that it's not me. Never would that be me. I'm only doing this because I'm a victim. We're not victims. I am 100% responsible for the way that my life turns out, now, in the past, and in the future. You are 100% responsible for the way that your life turns out, in the past, here tonight, and in the future. And even if something doesn't work out the way you planned, at least be smart enough to not make the same mistakes in the future. If you got fired from your job because you was stealing staplers and cutting corners on your time, or whatever somebody might get let go for, it ain't the end of the world. Just don't go get a new job and start stealing staplers and cutting around on your time. You're going to get the same result. Next, and I'm going to wrap this up because I really don't want to be up here with you guys at midnight. Next, I want you to consider, have I sat down and looked in the mirror long enough? And what do I see? Nobody can love you when you don't love you. Nobody can support your growth when you don't believe you can grow. Nobody is responsible for your happiness. You're responsible for your happiness. And many of you will, in the next 2 minutes, you will be somewhere toasting up a glass of your favorite beverage. You will have either already danced yourself until the corns on your feet hurt. You will either have sat around and smoked and drank and laughed and played and did all the things that you all choose to do. And you will wake up tomorrow saying, I'm not going to eat this because my New Year's, like, how you doing? You will say, I'm not going this, I'm going to exercise. And you're not. You will say, I'm going to be a better person, but you have no game plan. You'll say, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to cuss anymore, I'm not going to do this. You're going to say a whole bunch of things to yourself, and you're going to make your laundry list so unattainable, because in order to do all of those things that you are right now saying, I'm no longer going to do anymore, it would cause you to have to wake up and be willing to tell everybody that you've had in your circle the truth about you. And that type of willpower, that type of intestinal fortitude, that type of drive and determination doesn't come because you're drunk. It doesn't come because you had you 2 meals. In order for you to be that bold, that strong, you're going to have to pray about it. And I am asking and imploring you all, take that type of risk, make that type of gamble on yourself. Oh, it doesn't take a whole lot. Let's be clear. Some of you do not even know how to pray or what you're praying for. You don't have to go to God asking him about some supernatural thing. It doesn't have to be one of those long-winded prayers that you normally get at church that makes you want to go to sleep. You got something simple that you need. You can turn off everything in your environment. You can create your own little quiet closet, and you can simply ask God, if it's your will, help me to become better than what I was today. Help me be better this year as a person than I was last year. It's real simple. And if you mean it, then you begin to exercise those traits of a different person. You're going to have to say no to some people. You're going to lose some friends. There's going to be a minefield in front of you and some carcasses behind you. Because you can't change the old you and everything be the same. And it's okay. You don't have to turn everybody that you leave behind into victims and villains. They're not wrong because they ain't ready to change. They're just not ready to change with you. Pray for them and keep it pushing. But you've got to focus on you, on your growth. If you focus on you and your growth, I can promise you this. Things will start to change for the better in your life. You will begin to, some of the things that are not within your benefit, you're going to stop wanting to do them in the first place. If you used to drinking a gallon of liquor every 2 days, you start focusing on something positive. If you get your spiritual life right, your professional life is going to get right. Your personal life is going to get right. You're not going to drink. And I'm not saying that just because you begin to get your spiritual life right that you're going to automatically put the bottle down. But I can promise you, if you're focusing on getting yourself right, if you're praying about it, you're not going to drink a gallon every 2 days. Some of y'all might go down to a pint, and that's okay. Eventually, your pint will go down to a shot every 2 days. Eventually, you'll stop taking a shot every 2 days. And you've got to be willing to accept that nothing happens overnight. Measure yourself not from where you stand today, but how far you've come. Make sure you trust the process. You ain't got time to be comparing and weighing your hate or disdain for somebody else. If you out here in these streets and you telling folks versions of your business, stop getting mad when they know your business. You are the leak within your camp. Stop thinking that everybody you tell your business to is keeping it in confidence. Some folk will tell your business before you get in the car. That's what they do. Stop expecting them to be something greater. And if they do tell it, then you need to be man enough or woman enough to stand on what you put out there. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember the lie. Even if your truth ain't a good truth. People come to substance abuse counseling sessions and they stand up and they all want to go through the, hi, my name is Sinclair and I'm an alcoholic. Hi, I'm Sinclair and I'm this, and that. Because what it does is it provides them a shield for everything else that they're about to say in that meeting or the next meeting, because they've already confessed about the worst of them. You want to be something better, stop being ashamed of the thing you've been in your past. Own it. Because the moment you own what you are or have been, nobody can use it against you, and you can keep it pushing to your new growth. Cosmetologists like to say, in order for you to make sure your hair is healthy and grow to its fullest, sometimes you got to clip them split ends. Some of y'all got some split ends in your life that you need to clip so that you can grow stronger. Your life can be better. Your surroundings can be better. Marie Hollowell, glad that you done joined us tonight. And I'm saying these things. I'm not telling y'all to get up off the show in the next few minutes and call everybody and tell them I ain't messing with y'all no more. I'm not saying that. They might not be the problem. You're probably the problem. But I'm saying these things to you tonight because a New Year's resolution means nothing. If you want proof, why didn't last year's New Year's resolution work? You need to refocus. Refocus with your honesty. Refocus with your goals. Refocus with your spirituality. Refocus with your inner circle. Refocus all of the things that are not clear to you right now. And at the end of the day, you take it one day at a time. Take ownership of who and what you are. Strive to be better. Create a fellowship with like-minded people who are positive, not like-minded people who are like the old you. Get you a new crew. And if you can't find a new crew up at first, be okay with being by yourself. Be okay with the fact that sometimes you need a committee of one. And you can start with the one, and as people see the change in you, as folks out there in your circle start to see the new you, you're going to pick up some new people with new attitudes. People, listen, we got about 12 minutes, and I told y'all I'm not going to hang up on this platform until midnight because I want y'all to be able to call all the people that you wanted to call. It's been a wonderful year for the show. It really has. And I've been very, very blessed in my life. I've accomplished this year many of the things that was on my list of important things to do. And God ain't through with me yet, and he's not through with you yet. But I can't rest on those laurels. I can't sit back and say, because I accomplished these 5 things this year, that means I can take a year of do nothing. There is much work to be done, whether it is in our communities, whether it is through our activism, whether it is about us helping grow our communities into something stronger. It is not enough to pull out your cell phone and record an injustice happening. We must transform that to being comfortable becoming involved. It is not enough to sit around here with these fake codes of we ain't gonna snitch while we watch crimes and things happen in our community. You should be teaching your sons and daughters that it's not snitching if you somebody taking advantage of a person. You're supposed to say something about it. We can't expect our property values to go up. We can't expect them to start investing more money in schools than jails as long as we're part of the problem. And at the end of the day, we're going to have to make some decisions. And these decisions aren't naturally easy, but they are rewarding. And those decisions are, how do I personally make a difference in the lives of other people? How can I change what I see in the mirror to be something better? What will I do differently tomorrow? What will I do differently the day after? I don't need you, Nikki Carter, glad to see you. I don't need you all to create a 12-month business plan. I need you to create a what am I going to do better tomorrow plan. In the next 10 minutes plan. Take it day by day. Stop creating things that you can give yourself an excuse. Well, I still got 3 more months because I said I was going to do it this year. Create your tomorrow goals. God willing, we will continue to show this year. It will expand and grow. And I hope that you all will continue to be a part of it. But as for me, I'm getting ready to get up off this air right now. I wish you all nothing but blessings and peace. And if it's God will, I'll see you guys shortly. And I'm out.
It's about that time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go.